I'm going to share with you healthy versus unhealthy. Sometimes those foods that are marketed as healthy are potentially not the healthiest alternative. So sometimes you can just go and eat the donut instead of that protein bar. I took nutrition information directly off either the package, the product's websites, or MyFitnessPal. Those three places that I got this nutrition information. So very important that you continue to look at nutrition facts when it comes to the foods that you are consuming. I'm going to share with you if it's going to be healthy or unhealthy for you. And you can make the determination whether you want to continue consuming that product or if you just want to be mindful and limit to that, because it all comes down to all carbohydrates turn to sugar. So today I'm not going to share with you any of the fat information. We got to get away from this whole mentality of we got to eat low fat free. We are now 30, 40 years post eating low fat free, and we are at our highest weight as a nation right now. Yes, rates of obesity are continuing to be on the rise. So I'm not sharing fat information. I'm sharing with you because this is the culprit right here, carbohydrates and sugar. Because when we start to look at the fat and we don't look at the sugar, we end up consuming loads and loads of sugar, which is why many of us struggle to lose the weight. It's all about the carbohydrates and the sugar, because the sugar calorie works in our bodies differently than other types of carbohydrates like our fruits and our vegetables. Now, all carbohydrates turn to sugar. However, there's different sugars out there. There's dextrose, there's fructose, there's sucrose. So it all depends on what type of sugar that it turns into. Is it going to turn into really quick sugar? Is it going to take longer time? But all carbohydrates turn to sugar, bottom line. And if you're diabetic, you have to watch your carbohydrate intake. Now, the American Heart Association's recommendation for us women on the amount of extra sugar we should be consuming is, oh my gosh, it's going to blow your mind, 6 teaspoons of sugar. That's their recommendation. No more than 6 teaspoons of sugar a day. So that turns to 25 grams of sugar, because when we look at our labels, they're going to give you your sugar in grams, not teaspoons, not cups. They're going to give it to you in grams. So no more than 25 grams of sugar per day. And that's about 100 calories. So for instance, 1 can of regular soda, like a 12-ounce can, is 8 teaspoons or 32 grams of added sugar. And then many of us, we turn to the diet sodas because we're trying to get off of the sugar. And that in itself has potential adverse effects as well. So just a reminder, 6 teaspoons of sugar a day, which is 25 grams of sugar max. I'm going to give you an assignment. Look in your cabinets and look at all of the sugar that is in the foods that are currently in your cabinets. Yeah, and just take a sneak peek at that. So here is what is labeled as a healthy snack. Okay, now Kellogg, Special K, and I went with the protein options because when we first started health and our wellness journey, you might be like, I'll get like a protein because I need more protein. We should be eating more protein. I'm not getting enough. So many of us turn to, I did myself, the protein bar options. So this is a snack bar. There's also breakfast bars, but I went specifically with this one because it's promoted as having more protein, so it's better for you. All the marketing, yes, get your protein in. However, that 1 bar is 19 grams of carbohydrates and it has 12 grams of sugar. So you're already at half of your sugar intake for the day. Because remember, the American Heart Association says no more than 25 grams of sugar. So you're already almost at half of your intake of sugar for the day. And it has 10 grams of added sugar. So yeah, there's 2 grams that are natural and they added 10 grams of sugar to the product. So yes, lots of sugar into this product that is labeled as healthy. And yes, it has 8 grams of protein, but in comparison to what you could potentially be eating, like your eggs, it's not really a whole lot in the scheme of things. So that's one that's labeled as healthy. That is potentially is not as healthy as what you would think it would be. So then same thing, special K. Now they went from just the protein. Now they're like, we're going to give you extra protein. This is how it's marketed. So now they have XL is their more protein brand line. Salted caramel dark chocolate is the brand. Now this has 22 grams of carbohydrates. Remember, all carbs turn to sugar. It just depends on what type of sugar it turns into. That's why it's really, you really do want to be watching your carbs. It has 11 grams of sugar. So about the same amount of sugar as the other one, but they're labeling it as, hey, it's even healthier than the other one. Yes, it has 15 grams of protein. I did not look into the source of protein, but basically it's soy, and I'm going to get into the whole soy information later on in this broadcast. It has 15 grams of protein. Yes, it's labeled as extra protein, but it still has 11 grams of sugar, and the American Heart Association said no more than 25 grams per day. And it has 22 grams of carbohydrates. Yeah. All right. Now, so maybe you're looking further. I have a lot of clients who go, switch from this to this one, a Cliff Bar. This one has 21 grams of sugar and 41 carbs per bar. All right, so now the Special K is not looking too bad. But yeah, this is what's marketed as healthy to us. The marketing gets us. I'm a culprit of it as well. Plus, it has a lot of soy ingredients, such as soy lecithin, soy flour, soybean oil, to name a few. Now, you got to be mindful of the protein source because they're using soy as a protein source. I'm going to give you the lowdown on that in a moment, as I said. Yeah, so Cliff Bar, 41 grams of carbs and 21 grams of sugar. All right, now here's another popular one is Quest Bar. And so I looked at the chocolate chip cookie dough because we're all like, yeah, it's healthy. I could have chocolate chip cookies. Yes, cookie dough. So this one has ingredients that are not too good for you, like palm oil and sucralose is that yellow packet, also known as Splenda. Sucralose is chlorinated sugar. It's made from sugar, but how they make it 0 calories, they actually put chlorine in it. It's a chlorinated process, so you are consuming chlorine. What do we put in our pools to clean it? We put chlorine in it. Why? Because chlorine helps with fight that bacteria. But what it also does in our gut, ladies, is it cleans out the good bacteria in our gut. So it interferes with our gut health. And palm oil is 100% fat and is known to increase your LDL, which is your bad cholesterol. You want low LDL and high HDL. And bad LDL, bad cholesterol, high cholesterol can lead to heart issues, heart disease, and stroke. Yeah, it's labeled marketed as healthy, but now you've got palm oil, which is 100% fat. Now, here's just a regular Special K protein meal bar, strawberry, okay? 6 count. You can get this off of Amazon. This one has 22 grams of carbohydrates and 14 grams of sugar. Yeah, still, we're like that's half your sugar content for the day for that one. So now you might be going out to the coffee shop. This is me too. Go out to the coffee shop and you're looking, I don't want the donut because donut has fat and sugar, and I don't want that muffin, but I'm going to get a bran muffin. So this is from Dunkin' Donuts, and this is typical of brand muffins in general. This bad boy has 86 grams of carbohydrates. I just want to say holy-ish. And it has 48 grams of sugar. What? But isn't a brand muffin supposed to be healthier compared to the donut? That's why I'm eating the brand muffin, because it's got bran in it, and it's supposed to be healthier for me. But it's got 48 grams of sugar. So now you're double the amount of sugar the American Heart Association recommends for your daily allowance. What the crap? Yeah. Maybe that bread muffin isn't the healthiest option when I go to the local coffee shop. Unless you're at a Whole Foods coffee shop and they're really like Whole Foods everything and give it like putting stevia and erythritol in it. Yeah. All right. So, surprising facts, isn't it? Yes. So now let's look at that donut that you just decided not to have because it's not brand. It's not brand. See, these keywords, these catchwords, they get us all the time. So we don't eat the donut because it's not bran, but that bran muffin had 48 grams of sugar in it. What the crap? So here's the glazed donut. This only has 13 grams of sugar compared to the 48. What? But we're eating the bran muffin because everyone says we need bran because it's healthier. Just eat the donut. Splurge. Just eat the donut. Now, this does have 33 grams of carbohydrates, but compared to the bran muffin, which had 86 grams, yeah. Now you might say, we'll just eat half the bran muffin because it's bigger in volume. But how many of us actually just eat half of a muffin? And I'm just being 100 with you because I never do. I never eat just half of that bran muffin. I eat the whole thing, which was why I was at my highest weight ever because I was choosing healthy foods that really weren't healthy in the long run. That bran muffin got me. Woo! Because as soon as I looked at the nutrition information, I'm like, holy smack! I just ate like that much sugar. Yeah. All right, so now let's go to then sometimes they come out with healthier options, right? So then Dunkin' came out with this protein muffin. Now, I don't think it's currently on, it's not the local Dunkin' Donuts here. It was, so I think they took it away. And I don't know if because of the nutrition information, people were complaining or what, but so then they decide, let's have a protein muffin because protein is the catchword. You say the word protein, people think it's healthy and they're going to buy it, right? This bad boy had 61 grams of carbohydrates, better than the bran muffin, all right? 86 in bran muffin, 61 here, but it still has 26 grams of sugar in this protein muffin that's supposed to be healthier for you. You were automatically over your American Heart Association daily recommended allowance for your sugar for the day, just with this protein muffin. Now, granted, it does have 16 grams of protein, but the protein source is soy and it's not a good protein source. Yeah, healthier option is really not the healthier best. Just eat the glazed donut. All right, now we're officially in that time of year where we have pumpkin. What? Yeah. Now I do get a pumpkin muffin. I limit myself. I'm like, I'll get one a season, and that's my time for the pumpkin muffin because this one has 40 grams of sugar. It's almost as much sugar as the bran muffin had 46. Now, granted, this one does have 6 grams of protein because you got your pumpkin in it, but it's 77 grams of carbohydrates. Remember, all our carbohydrates turn to sugar. It's just dependent on what type of carbohydrate it is will depend on what type of sugar it turns into. All right, so 40 grams of sugar in that pumpkin muffin. So then they also have your donut because I was like, okay, if you don't eat the muffin, what's in the donut? This one's a little bit better. It has 20 grams of sugars in this one. So yes. So now let's look at the pumpkin donut. So the pumpkin muffin had 77 grams of carbs and 40 grams of sugar. So now let's look at the actual donut, all right? 41 grams of carbs and 20 grams of sugar. So with your donut, you're almost over your American Heart Association's recommendation for sugar. And the reason why I'm telling you carbohydrates and sugar is because when many of us go on our weight loss journey, we do what the diet gurus tell us to do, which is to watch our fat intake, but we're not watching the amount of sugar. We're focusing on the fat, and you don't realize how much sugar you are consuming during the day. Hey, I didn't realize how much sugar I was consuming until I started to be more label savvy and looked at all the nutritional information. Once again, I got this information. I Googled, I looked at the package, I looked at MyFitnessPal, and I also went directly to the website. And they will show you. If you go like Special K, I went right to their website. They had a picture of their nutritional facts information and then their food ingredients as well. So they're making it easier for you so you know how much sugar you are consuming. And then you can also do something like MyFitnessPal. You can go to their website or you can download the app and you can use your bar scanner and scan the bar on that package and it'll tell you how much sugar and all that if you feel like you don't want to read everything. So it makes it a little bit easier for you. Or you can just put it in their search bar and Special K will be in there. Dunkin' Donuts will be in there and it'll give you the nutritional facts as well before you go out. Sometimes it's like the unhealthy is actually the healthiest one. Plus it has all the soy ingredients. Soy, why no soy? I personally choose to watch my soy intake. Why? And I work with clients who are cancer survivors, and this is the reason why. It's because soy contains estrogen-like compounds called isoflavones, and some findings suggest that these compounds could promote the growth of some cancer cells, impair fertility for women, and mess with thyroid function. For me, soy just causes me GI issues. So I personally don't eat soy. So if a protein bar has soy in it, I'm like, no, because I know how I'm going to feel in my body. And the clients that I work with who are cancer survivors, they just stay away from it because they've already had cancer. They just want to protect themselves and their health and their body. So they choose not to do soy. So this is why when you look at the nutritional information, Google the information, you might see some health advocates who will tell you stay away from soy. And this is the reason why, just because there's a potential for cancer. And sugar as well is a cancer causing agent. It causes inflammation and it destroys our health as well. So this is the down and dirty of the most popular foods that we tend to eat. And I gave you all the unhealthy, like the Dunkin' Donuts, which we would say unhealthy. But then when you look at the healthier options with the Quest bar and the Cliff bar, those unhealthy options potentially aren't as unhealthy as what we're deeming them to be. I want you to wrap your mind around the fact that you potentially could be eating a lot of sugar based on the amount of sugar that's in there and the amount of total carbohydrate counts, because all carbs